Happy New Year! I'm so excited that you said yes to being on this journey with me in the Midlife Awakening Club. And I thought that we could start the new year with a little bit of self-compassion and talking about healing in a way that is fun and joyful and enlivening. So I have some notes here. So if it sounds like I'm reading, I am a little bit, but you guys know me. I'm a little bit wordy. I like to talk a lot and I go off on tangents. So I'm trying something new. My new self is trying something new where I write down my thoughts that I'd like to share and to be more concise. So you know me, that you know the drill. But as always, let's sync up our hearts. Let's allow ourselves to relax. Let's be in this moment together and allow your thoughts to match the rhythm of my voice. And in doing so, you will be allowing your heart to beat at the similar frequency to mine. And I am coming to you fresh from a meditation, very rested, very happy, and very excited to be on this journey with you. So today, we'll be talking a little bit about releasing the old self with compassion. Oh, I get chills just thinking about it. Because you and I both know that there comes a time in life, and it seems to be this midlife stage, where we realize that something very quietly but clearly is coming into view. Who you've been is no longer who you are becoming. For so many of us over 40, it's not just a mindset shift. It's actually a psychological and spiritual transition or transformation. And it can feel very emotional, it can feel confusing, and maybe even destabilizing. Why? Because the old you isn't just a story. It's also an energetic identity. And this is shaped by past experiences, relationships, traumas, dramas, your need for survival, and the coping skills that you've picked up. This old identity once kept you safe. It learned how to be responsible or maybe pleasing. It learned how to endure, how to be resilient. And most importantly, it learned how to hold it together. And like any survival system, it doesn't want to disappear. It wants to stay alive. That part of you that's kept you going for all these years wants to keep keeping you safe. So when you try to change, whether it's starting a new chapter, a new relationship, setting boundaries, trying to rest more, speak your truth, or follow your calling, this old energy resists that change. Not because you are a failure, but because that part of you is afraid. So here's a shift that can change all of this in an instant if you let it. Healing doesn't come from fighting the old self, the old identity. It comes from integrating her. So our next step in healing is learning how to integrate all of those old parts of yourself, even the ones that don't look so great on paper. Integrating it into who you are now with forgiveness and ease and grace, and dare I say it, joy. Let's talk about the part of you that clings to old habits, self-doubt, or numbing behaviors. That part of you is not broken. She's just tired. She's protective, and she's been carrying this extreme weight for decades. When we shame her, suppress her, or try to outgrow her forcefully, she tightens her grip. But when we meet her with awareness, compassion, and unconditional love, something remarkable happens. She softens. She no longer has to scream to be heard. And she no longer needs to run the show. This is not about erasing your past. It's about welcoming it into the present moment. so it can finally rest. True transformation, the kind that lasts, doesn't come from willpower or reinvention. It comes from presence, from noticing when the old patterns arise, from staying with the sensations in your body, from allowing the grief, anger, fear, or sadness beneath the story to simply be felt. And when those emotions are felt, not analyzed, not fixed, not changed, not beaten into submission, they dissolve. And what remains is you, more whole, more embodied, more free. This is the kind of growth that doesn't collapse under stress because it wasn't built on rejection. It is built on love. So I have some action steps for you to integrate this. Maybe you want to interact with it as journal prompts. That's totally fine, but this is really about inner work. So number one, we need to identify the old self as an internal identity. Maybe you've heard of the psychological work called parts work. And if you haven't, that's okay. It simply means that allowing all the different parts of you, the joyful part, the sad part, the scared part, the ambitious part, all of those different parts of you to be in one body, in harmony. And it's actually very gentle and very beautiful work. But this is what we're trying to do, is integrate this old self into all of you and allow all of this wisdom to help move you forward. We can recognize that this old identity is a survival-based energetic pattern. Some people call it the ego. You might have another name for it, but that's not your true essence. It was formed through past trauma, conditioning, and coping, and it still lives in your nervous system today. You're not trying to destroy it. You are learning to relate to it consciously. You've heard me say this so many times, being awake at the wheel of your life. This is one of the steps for doing it. Number two, we want to notice when you're unconsciously feeding the old identity. So start to pay attention to moments when you fall back into self-doubt or over-functioning or numbing behavior or spending too much or familiar but truly unfulfilling habits. Because awareness alone begins to loosen the grip of the old identity. So we're going to stop feeding the old identity. Do you see where we're going with this? Number three, we can shift from resistance to integration. We want to stop fighting or shaming ourselves for going backwards, because that happens sometimes. Resistance is actually what keeps that old identity alive, and acceptance allows it to relax and evolve naturally. Step 4, we can practice conscious observation. When those old patterns show up, pause and observe. Oh, this is familiar. Or, oh, this once kept me safe. Overspending felt like safety at one stage of my life because I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough money in the future. So I would overspend when I did have the money and get involved in magical thinking. Oh, I see. I'm doing that again. We can stay curious rather than judgmental. And we can always remind ourselves that this is just part of our past. It's not my present identity. Step 5, we can offer unconditional love to the old self. You can imagine this part of you as a guest at your own table. You can silently communicate to her. You are safe. You are welcome here. You haven't done anything wrong. You don't need to change to be loved. Love without conditions is what creates trust, and trust allows transformation. And you can see how in this step, we're also learning to calm the nervous system. Step 6, feel the emotions beneath the story. I want you to start to understand that limiting beliefs are just protective masks. we need to be willing to feel what's underneath. That might be fear or anger or sadness or grief or uncertainty. And these are just feelings. And what I've come to know through my work and my journey is that if we allow ourselves to truly, truly feel the emotions bubbling up in our bodies, and we can stick with it for 60 to 90 seconds, a minute to a minute and a half, they tend to dissolve. This is what it means to feel your feelings and move on. And this is actually what we're designed to do. Humans are the only animals who hold on to grudges. The only ones who keep these old stories alive for decades, wasting so much of our vital energy. Step 7, we can create conditions for natural and easy growth. This is where it gets fun. Let's focus a lot less on fixing and focus a lot more on presence and vulnerability. Just like nature, your inner system evolves when it's given attention and love and care and time and fun things to look forward to. Growth that unfolds naturally is growth that lasts. So I want you to take this lesson, take these ideas, this concept. Of course, for those of you who are already inside the Midlife Awakening, you have access to this worksheet so you can use it as journal prompts. If you're not a member yet of the Midlife Awakening Club, you can join below. It's just $9 a month. And I have the most supportive and loving and amazing women in that community. And we are awakening together. If that sounds like something you are up for, please come and find us. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.